night before my wedding, my best friend flew back from overseas to attend my bachelor party. We were just having a few drinks when his stomach started acting up, so I quickly reached into his bag for his medication. Instead of pills, I found a naughty remote control. I grinned mischievously and waved a hand toward him. Didn't know you were getting this wild overseas, man. He smiled awkwardly and told me to just hand him the medicine and not to touch anything else. Alas, his reaction made me even more curious, so I purposely pressed on one of the buttons. The next second, my fiancée, who was sitting right next to us, shuddered. Ah! My fiancée, Clara Sanders, gasped out a soft moan before squeezing her legs shut. Her face suddenly pinched into a strange expression. Her friend leaned in and asked, "Clara, are you okay?" Clara looked flustered. She stood up quickly and muttered, "I'm okay. I think my period just came. I'm going to the restroom." She then hurried out of the room. I was stunned. The remote in my hand felt scorching hot. Barely half a second had passed between me pressing the button and her reacting that way. However, I did not dare to think too deeply about it. I wanted it to be nothing more than a bizarre coincidence. Jonah and I had grown up together. We had known each other for over a decade. There was no way he could be involved with Clara like that. Besides, he had been abroad all these years. They had barely even met. As I was lost in my thoughts, Jonah smacked my shoulder. "What's up with you? Come on, just give me the meds already. My stomach's killing me." Only when I saw his face twisted in pain did I snap out of my thoughts. I mumbled something back, found the medication, and handed it to him. I could not bring myself to ask what I really wanted to because the party was full of people I knew. If it were just a misunderstanding, not only would it ruin the friendship I had built with Jonah over the past decade, but I would also embarrass Clara in front of everyone. Jonah looked much better after he took his medication. I raised my glass and clinked it against his. I tried to sound casual as I said, "Jonah, you got yourself a girl and didn't even tell me? Am I not your best friend anymore?" Jonah froze for a second, then laughed and shook his head. "What are you talking about? You know me. No strings attached. I'm not one to settle." He reached over and took the remote back, as if he could tell what I was thinking. "This thing? It belongs to a flight attendant I met on the plane." He rubbed his hands together, lowering his voice but failing to hide the smugness. "I mean, it was a 12-hour flight. I had to find a way to entertain myself, you know? She was down for it and even made the first move. Who was I to say no? I must have tossed it in my bag before landing and forgot about it." The whole group of friends burst into laughter at his confession. "Man, you really have been abroad too long. Even on a plane, you don't miss a beat. Just don't let her run you dry." The banter sent the energy through the roof again. I managed to smirk, but something felt off. Soon Clara returned to the room. She sat back down beside me, perfectly composed. It was like that little moment earlier had never happened. Someone suggested we switch venues. They were tired of the same old drinking games. Everyone agreed, and I was not about to kill the mood. Before we left, I ducked into the restroom, but once I reached the door, I swerved and slipped into the women's restroom. Luckily, no one was in there. Clara wore a skirt with no pockets today and had not brought a bag. Before she went into the restroom, she borrowed a pad from her friend. If my suspicions were correct, there was no way she could have kept that thing on her, which meant that it could only be in the trash bin. I held my breath and walked quickly to the trash bin. I crouched down and was just about to dig through it when someone tapped me on the shoulder. "What are you doing in here?" I turned and saw it was Jonah. Cold sweat broke out on my skin. He frowned and asked, "Dylan, why are you in the women's restroom? If someone catches you, they're going to think you're some kind of pervert." My face flushed red as I scrambled for an excuse. "I just had too much to drink and got a little tipsy."